What is up, everybody, and welcome back to GamesTalk at 2 a.m. This week is just going to be me and Nathan. Say hello, Nathan.
Hello. Ahoy, mateys.
There you go. I was about to ask where your ahoy was. And we got one big overarching topic today, and that's going to be basically what it's like to be a small YouTuber and talking about like why we do YouTube and kind of the reason for life, why we're here in the first place. It's going to be grand.
The answer. I mean, for anyone who's seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, we know that answer is 42.
42. Definitely 42. And if you haven't seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I highly recommend it because it's a good movie. It's weird.
Really? I hated it.
Oh, well, I guess that we have different tastes. It's bizarre.
He's the film student, so trust his taste before mine.
Yeah. I have classical education, so. All right, so moving on to our first talking point. Nautical Nathan, gaming YouTuber, the man, the myth, the legend. Why do you do YouTube?
Yeah, like this is like I'll give you kind of my spiel. Like not that it's rehearsed and it's gonna feel that way. But the reason that I've always started YouTube and the reason I still continue to do YouTube is I have a really big passion for people that battle bullying and depression. And a lot of that is because it's something that I grew up and struggled with and didn't have like an outlet to learn about it or talk about it or just not even really have a lot of friends to kind of even talk it out with. Like growing up, like middle school, high school, because that's kind of where it usually develops, and obviously it can happen before. So I've always wanted to create a safe space, not like in a weird term, but literally a place where I'd like to invite people that we can either talk about it and also not talk about it and just have fun, smile, and make people's days better. To be completely honest with you.
See, that's like so noble, and like I don't really know how to like put my reason into words and like compare it against that, but like that's really cool that you have taken like past experiences and things that you struggled with when you were younger and like can project that and like understand that other people probably go through the same thing and like want to use your platform to serve them in a way that you weren't served, and that's really cool. Like that's
well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Like I definitely like relate to that a lot too, because like when I was in middle school and a lot in elementary school as well, I wasn't like traumatized or anything like that, but people definitely didn't treat me in the way that I would have liked to be treated. People said a lot of mean things. Definitely didn't have a whole lot of friends. And back in the day, if there was like a nice little YouTube channel like Nautical Nathan on the web, oh wow, I just call it the web. Wow. If there was a little place called Nautical Nathan on YouTube, maybe I would have had a little safe space per se, you know?
Well, like 10 years ago, you probably I would not be the same person in front of a camera. So I'm glad as a middle schooler I was not on YouTube.
Oh, no. I wasn't trying to say like if you were on YouTube as a middle schooler, because let's be honest. If you and I as middle schoolers were on here, no one would watch us.
No.
Because
very few people watch me now, and I'm thankful for the people that do, but I'm just a little bit better than a middle schooler right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're like just graduating into high school, you know, just barely. You're cresting. You're at the top of your game right now.
Yeah, so maybe I should jump out now while I'm there.
Yeah, dude, you're almost to 500 subs. Hit 500, delete your channel straight up. There's nowhere else to go.
Subs, I'm gonna delete my channel.
Hey, is that you, Pewds?
I could pull up PewDiePie. I have a second channel. It's no Jack Spicy.
We'll talk about that another time. So
yeah, tell me what's the reason that you started? What's like your passion behind YouTube? Tell me about that.
I guess it's my turn. Okay. So
tag you in. With
me in YouTube, okay, I'm gonna start from the very beginning. This is kind of like a how I got started story as well. This. A lot of, wow, I need to collect my thoughts. Short pause. So when I was younger, around like 13 or 14, just starting to get in high school, like I said, I didn't have a whole lot of friends at school, and there wasn't a whole lot of things for me to do outside of school. So I played a lot of video games because I didn't really want to hang out with the kids around me because they weren't super nice to me. And I was active. I liked sports, but like, again, didn't want to play with the kids around me. And video games were definitely like right there and easy to play. And like
Right.
I like developed just like I'd take a game and I would beat it as much as I could, and like I would 100% it. And it's just like video games became very routine for me, and I loved video games. They were definitely an escape for me, and I just loved playing them so much from a very young age. And I remember when YouTube first started, that was what occupied a lot of my other time. Like I found like Smosh and channels like Balloon Shop, like back when they were just starting, or like mid to late 2000s, and dude, that's when like crappy content on YouTube was like gold. That's when like you know what I'm saying? Like Balloon Shop was like my jam. And going into high school, I watched Balloon Shop so much. And I loved their awkward comedy and I loved their videos, and I was like, you know, like I really want to make stuff like that. I really want to try to make stupid videos to make people laugh. That sounds awesome. And I learned very quickly that making videos was not easy. But
It's not.
I also realized that as soon as I picked up a camera, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with the rest of my life.
You just picked it up and you knew.
Well, like basically, like I was like making my first thing with like friends, making something super stupid. Like we were literally like we put lampshades on our heads, and like we were trying to make fun of planking. And we put lampshades on our heads and just stood in random places, and we're like, oh, this is hilarious. And like, I don't know, I was sitting there editing it on some like random free software, and I realized like how much fun I was having. And I was like, I wouldn't mind doing this for the rest of my life. And that was the first time that I had encountered anything like that. Like video games are fun, but like there was no like career in video games at the time.
Right. Someone paved the path for that.
And I was like, dang, dude, like that would be so much fun. And all my videos were terrible. Let's be real here. Like you've seen a little bit of my old stuff, and maybe eventually I'll release it to the public. But like there were some really terrible videos out there of like my original content.
I agree that there were some really terrible ones, but I will say like the ideas you guys had were not terrible. It was I don't want to say it's poorly executed, but I think with just like step up of equipment and step up in maturity that you guys I think you could pull that off at this age now.
Well, that kind of thinking is what gets you Ryan Eats an Apple for 4 minutes. Which is definitely a video on my channel. But anyway, like so I started trying to make these videos, and I caught myself replicating Balloon Shop. I caught myself like really actually trying to make the exact same thing. And that's not cool if you're like making your own content. And I saw myself doing it. Right. I started trying to move away from it, kind of like still the same kind of humor, but I realized that like no one wanted to watch my videos, and I didn't really understand why, because I thought they were hilarious. And after a while, it kind of made sense to me. It's because like my humor was not my own humor; it was someone else's. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna quit. No one watches my videos. I'm not enjoying making them that much anymore, because it's like I'm clearly just replicating somebody, and all the friends that I had made videos with previously were just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, all right, cool. And around this time, PewDiePie started making videos, and like I was like, holy crap, I can do gaming on YouTube. And I got really excited, and I was like, well, I need to find a way to do this. And like I just realized like I had no means to do it. And it's always been like a dream in the back of my mind, like being able to do YouTube would be amazing. And like even if I never make this like a full-time career, like if I stay small forever, that's perfectly fine, because I have so much fun doing this. But around when I got into college, I started getting the means to be able to record gameplay. So like I got my computer, I got a nice camera, and I was like, you know what, let's just give it a shot. And about a little over a year ago, I think like last week, last week as of the release of this video is a year ago from last week was when I first started making YouTube videos. And
oh wow,
yeah, like it was super close to right now, huh? And I've just had so much fun doing it. It's been like such a blast. And I think the reason that I do it, so like that's how I got started. That's like my how I got started story. I'd love to hear yours in a second.
Yeah, sure.
The reason that I do it really is a little bit of spirituality and faith thrown out there. I look at the space of YouTube right now, and I see a lot of really awesome, solid people like on top. Like there's PewDiePie, there's Mark, there's Jack, and then there's like tons of vloggers and like there's game theory, and there's like all sorts of different kinds of content that are like really cool, and they're all like on top of YouTube. But I feel like kind of like a prompt in my heart, like to like try to bring more love into that community, into this world. Like if I somehow a little bringing my faith into this a little bit, like if the Lord blesses me with a kind of platform where hundreds, maybe thousands, maybe even millions of people will listen to me, and I can be very intentional with them and be real with them, let them know that they're cared about, and like encourage them to be better who they are, like, and maybe point them towards Jesus. I don't want to like shove down anyone's throat, but like maybe point them in the right direction, and just be like a really good, clean content creator that like just loves on people would be awesome. And I don't know, it's just kind of like a prompt that I felt put in my heart this time last year. And I don't know if that ever happens, awesome. But if it doesn't, then I'm having so much fun doing what I'm doing. And YouTube's a freaking blast. And I met you through YouTube, which is really cool.
It's true. I feel like I have a really good friendship with you, so I'm really appreciative of that as well.
Hey, you guys are all experiencing the bromance of Nathan and Ryan. But so I hope that was all, that all made sense, and that was all like cohesive or like one clean thought. So, so that's me. Sorry for talking over you. It's actually pretty interesting. The way you started and kind of the way I started, like you loved something that someone else made so much that you're like, that person's passion for it is actually kind of given me a passion for it. Mm-hmm. And I think when to go into how I originally started YouTube, this, like the channel Nautical Nathan is a secondary channel that I have, kind of as we alluded to earlier. But when I first started doing YouTube, it's because of originally Markiplier, that my friends and I, we would all sit around and gather around a TV in college. And, you know, some people are sitting on the floor, some people are sitting on top of beds, like way at this end ceiling because everything's bunked. And we would sit there and we would just laugh our butts off just watching Markiplier, like old style. Like, I don't know. I don't really want to discuss like the newer style because I don't know. I feel like I don't get the same thing out of it. But I agree.
But like when I thought that, I'm like, you know what? I would love, and this was originally where I thought, you know, I would love to entertain groups of people just, you know, sitting around TV. And for some reason, they like this guy so much that they'll sit around with their friends and watch him for hours. Mm-hmm. And so like when I originally did it, I had my decent mid-grade gaming laptop in college. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try making some gameplays. And I was not confident in myself or confident in what I was doing, but I still made the videos, and I think I'm better now because of what I did back then. And you know, it's kind of like a confidence step. Like you don't have to be down there anmore. Like that was bad. You cannot be that bad anymore.
Yeah. Looking back, it's kind of like, oh, I can't believe I put that out there
for everyone to see. It's like, thankfully only like 10 people saw it. You know, the friends that I pushed to see it, which. When I'm thinking about it now, I'm like, oh man, I would push my friends to see the stuff I make now, but I really wish I didn't push them to see the stuff I made back then. Oh, dude,
yeah. In high school, like I said, like I pushed people to try to watch my videos. I really paraded it. It was bad. Yeah. So I feel that.
Yeah. So then, like, I only had a few videos then, and I'm like, you know what? It just doesn't feel right for me. Like, and I kind of shut it down. And then, like a little over a year ago, like a year and 2 months. Almost there, where you know came to thought where you know what I want to do YouTube for good, not just because I think I could make a career out of it. And I think that's and it started with just making videos, and then now has evolved to changing to where I'm live streaming because personally, I'm more funny when I think I can entertain people and make people smile more when I can actually talk to them and directly to them and just like. Hey, like you're awesome for what you do. I think you're an amazing person, and you know, like high five the camera, even though obviously you know they can see me just slapping my camera.
Yeah, you get that more
hopefully that
interactive. Yeah,
and I think you know I can make people laugh a lot easier that way when it's a back and forth. It's a conversation more so as you know just me talking at the camera, making terrible puns sometimes, or sometimes just not being funny at all.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where like how I started, and then you know you get that passion, and that passion's still there regardless of what I do now, and like I still have a really big heart for people that battle with that, And then now it's
Yeah.
turning to where it's like, you know what? I'm just going to go straight to the source. Like, why make people, I mean, people still have to come to watch the video, but it's like, why would I make it so people have to come and find me? And then it's like this chopped up conversation where it's like comment, 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 instead
Mhm.
of they comment and I can immediately, well, somewhat immediately with just a slight delay, like physically talk to them and say like, no, you know, I'm really sorry that you're going through that really tough stuff, and
Mhm.
I hope things get better for you. And if there's anything I can do, like honestly, just message me and I'll be right there for you. And to
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
just seems so much better.
Yeah. Just like a
So
random.
sorry for that.
No, 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 dude. Super, super good stuff. Like for those of you guys that don't know, like it was like a month or two ago. Nathan was doing a live stream, and someone on his live stream commented on the live stream that they were going to commit suicide. And
Like
Nathan,
that day.
yeah, it was like, it was really crazy. And Nathan like took time out of his stream to like step away from playing the game and like really just have like a one-on-one with that person, and that kind of thing wouldn't have been possible without a live stream. So it's really cool that you're realizing live stream is a better medium for you to do that. And
Yeah,
it's
like
super super cool that you even have the intentions to like seek out people's hearts like that. It's really cool.
yeah, well, and I think to me that was almost like I felt a sign that, you know, maybe I should be doing more for live streams. And honestly, that was one of the more terrifying things that I've ever done in my life. The possibility that someone's life is in my hands and the only means of communication I have are, you know, my microphone and my camera, and I can talk directly to them, but I have no idea, like, I don't know anything, I can't see anything about their face, and the only communication I have is when and if they choose to comment.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a terrifying time. And if anyone out there is actually worried, not too long ago I actually saw them out of the blue, and it was just one comment at like the end of a live stream. Like I threw out like a Discord link to say, hey, you know, if you guys want to check out and keep the conversation going, here's a Discord link. And they actually said like the person actually came back. So it was like the most minuscule sign to know that that
Mm-hmm.
person was okay, but like it really warmed my heart to know
Oh yeah,
that,
for
you know,
sure.
they're still out there, and you know that I might still be doing something good for them.
Yeah, like I don't know, dude. It's just cool. It's just cool. Like you got a really
Thank you.
good thing going. And if you all are watching my channel right now and you don't know, you should totally go and look at Nathan's channel and see if it's something that you'd like to be involved in. Just a random plug for Nathan right there. Sorry about that, man. Um,
No worries.
just
I appreciate it, but don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about
this
it.
is like a deep and meaningful podcast. This is like we're about like 17 minutes in. We got some deep and meaningful stuff going. Hope you guys are still on board. And
Goodness gracious.
but so what are some struggles that you've encountered as a small YouTuber? What are some struggles from the very beginning, and stuff that you're still encountering now, and like what's changed?
Yeah, so especially when you first start out, like almost nobody will. It's so sad to say that like very few people, unless you're just an anomaly, and you know it happens, but very few people will start to watch. So like, especially
Yes.
if you're someone that's thinking about starting to YouTube, like wanting to start a YouTube channel, like don't be discouraged, especially in the first few months, unless you do
Mm-hmm.
something that is completely different,
Mm-hmm.
something that has its own niche. However you say
The
it.
word is
Um,
spelled Niche, and that's what he's talking
right.
about.
Yes. So like, unless you find a market like that where people will jump on board and are just like, like completely motivated to watch whatever you do, then especially like gaming vlogs, those are like two of the biggest style
Oh, it's
channels on
so there's
YouTube.
so much traffic, and like there's so much competition.
That yeah, don't be discouraged by whatever you do. You know, at first people aren't. You know, you got to be you though. No matter what, always be you.
Yes.
And if you can stick by that, and you can stick to, you know what, maybe I'm growing slow, but I'm still, you know, I may not be growing for a while. I may actually be declining, or a very slight increase. If you can stick to it and you don't get discouraged, I think you can really do whatever you set your mind to on YouTube. And I've learned so many things, whether it be through the YouTube algorithm, and I could just talk a whole podcast to myself on that.
Oh, the YouTube
Different
algorithm
things
is
like
all
that,
sorts of
where
crazy. Yeah.
yeah, and so like just different things, and not being discouraged and keeping at it is actually one of the biggest things, where if you keep posting, YouTube's like, hey, this person's still here, and you know, the longer you do it, YouTube's like, hey, this person just really isn't giving up. Maybe we should throw it
Mhm.
out to a few people, see what happens. Um, so that was like one big thing where I'm like, no one's watching, like it's so sad. And then you get to the point where people, you know, it's a back and forth, and it's a conversation between people or you start to get the people that are like, hey, I see what you did, great video, I liked and subbed, would you like to check out my channel if you
Yeah,
want,
it's the very very clear spam stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and the problem with that, I think there are so many smaller channels, especially like younger people, that are naive to the fact that this person is completely spamming them.
Hmm.
And you get these channels that do this, and they'll get 10,000 plus subs, and you're like, oh, excuse me.
And like sometimes they won't even post
Um,
videos.
No, and that's the thing. Well, and the people that do, they're just like terrible quality, but they're still getting a ton of views. And then right at the beginning of the video, like, all right, guys, you want to like this video before we get going? Let's see if we can get 10,000 likes. And they try to
Get the like train going.
Yeah. Or even rip off their shirt for likes. Like, I would probably rip my shirt for likes. That would be hilarious as
Yeah.
a joke, obviously.
As long as I get a single like out of it, I will do anything.
I will like your video if you smash a watermelon on your face.
Hey
I can
Nathan,
tell you that's painful.
are you gonna like this podcast later on?
I plan on it because I plan to go
That's
back
a
and
relief.
watch it.
That's a relief.
If I like what we're doing, you know. But yeah, you'll get that where there's just these spammy people, or you'll see somebody else that started later than you and is just doing phenomenally better. And there's just
Yes.
these are my personal experiences, and you see that, and it's just very discouraging. You're like, what can I do better? I feel like I'm trying my best, but I don't know. Those are the struggles that I feel that are out there. I mean, and just like I said before, you got to keep plugging. Like, you just got to keep the train going. And there's, if you keep that going, you get that momentum, and hopefully someday you'll get to where you want to be.
Hopefully. Yeah. Definitely.
Hopefully. Oh yeah. Also, you don't get paid for it. That's a really big deal.
Bouncing time.
And-
Holy crap.
Yes.
Because I have to go. I have to go
if
to my
you're assuming
real
you're gonna get
job.
paid-
Yeah. Yeah. It's like YouTube when you don't make money doing this. Like again, like this isn't by no means. Nathan and I have already talked about this previously. By no means do either of us really like desperately wish that we could do this for a career. It would be awesome, but like it's not like the end all be all. So like we have to do YouTube videos on the side right now, and then go to our real jobs and do other things, and then like try to squeeze YouTube into the free time that we have.
It is the struggle. And I mean, thankfully I'm blessed enough to where the job I can do it at a different time where, it's kind of flexible. Whereas like you with college classes, and that's how when I started, I was trying to pump out a bunch of videos at a time. And then you got to worry about classes and homework and, obviously your job. And for me, my wife, other relationships, it's so hard. It's just something else to throw into a matrix that's impossible to figure out.
Yeah, like people like I'll get comments sometimes. It'll be like, "Hey, man, why don't you post more? You should stream more. You should do this, this, and this." I'm like, dude, literally, if I had the means to, you guys would be getting like 1 to 2 videos a day. Like, I physically can't, and I really wish that I could. Maybe one day, but right now it's just so unrealistic.
And especially if you want to do, I mean, you could, and you're like, I could, but maybe it's not going to be the high quality that I want to put out there.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe you're just lucky. I don't get those comments, so maybe people are just not liking my stuff as much.
Well, you also stream like almost every day, so like they're getting what they want, yo.
Bombardment.
It's like, hey, you think you can run from my content? Well, here's 20 videos. Try to run from that.
In America, my content spams you.
Oh yeah, I sub to my channel, sub for sub. Yeah, that was like one of the things that like I was really tempted early on to like try to plug my channel and stuff like that, and just like post it everywhere and be like, hey, check out my video, check out my video, check out my video, check out my video, and like knowing now, like as we and you are starting to grow a little bit, like we have like I have around like 270, you have around 450. That's like we're not like massive, but we definitely have like a little bit of a following. We definitely have some really really awesome followers. Like shout out to you guys that are watching this video right now. Like I love you guys so much. It's like such a blessing to even like consider that I have like at least one person in the world that actually wants to watch me do videos. But
and they're excited when they see that notification pop up.
Yeah, dude, like I can't. That makes me so happy that like someone actually cares enough about my content and thinks that I'm great or whatever. But like when I'm just a weird guy, man. But like it's so annoying, and like you don't want to like sub to those channels. You don't want to support those channels because like they don't care who you are. All they want is numbers.
Oh, quick disclaimer on that. Like, even if you go on and dislike that person's video, you are actually helping that person. So if you really want to hurt them, watch a small part of their video, then click off.
Yes, retention time is the biggest thing on the YouTube algorithm. The longer you watch a video for,
Right.
the more likely it is to be promoted for somebody else. But I know another one of the struggles that I encountered was like the Classy Gamers. This channel has always been a partner channel. There's been a very short period of about 1 month when I was doing it completely on my own. And it's just like, it's really interesting having to balance your own workflow and your own style with someone else's. And like, that's not necessarily a bad thing at some points. Like at some points someone will give you a very, very good idea. It's like, wow, I would have never thought about that on my own accord. Like, your idea is significantly better than mine, and I'm really glad you're here. But then there's other times where like you might feel like your idea is better. You might feel like your workload is heavier or lighter, and you want to do more or do less. And it's just like, it's really hard to balance a completely other individual in a channel with you, you know?
Yeah.
And that was really rough towards the beginning, but like eventually Ben and I figured out a workflow, and now it's Cody and I definitely have a workflow going. And I don't know, like, I don't mind editing all the stuff, so it's whatever. But I don't know. Cody was on the podcast last week. I'm pretty sure he's going to be on next week as well. But I guess we will see. But we are actually starting to run low on time here.
Yeah. Okay. That is fine. I feel bad for taking up everyone's time. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope you guys are just feeling chill. Like, you know, I think the best way to watch a podcast, like maybe you're in the car on the road right now. You're like, you know what? I got a half hour to work. Let me plug in the Classy Gamers.
I'm in my mom's car. Broom, broom. So yeah. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, like whenever I listen to podcasts, I just set it to play and like I minimize it, and I'll just be doing something else while I'm listening to it. So I'm assuming that's what most people are going to be doing with this, because there's a still image with a couple glowing circles. So I don't know if you guys are just like sitting here watching it. Props to you. But that's not how I do things. But thank you guys so much for joining us this week. Getting to hear a little bit about Nathan and I's story, and like letting us share. And if you guys enjoyed the podcast, please go down and leave it a like. Subscribe to Classic Gamers if you haven't already. And we be doing these podcasts every single Friday. We'll be releasing them around, I think, 10 p.m. each Friday, but we are going to be recording these late into the night on our own nights, and that's why it's GamesTalk at 2 a.m. So thank you so much for joining us this week. My name is Ryan with the Classic Gamers. Let's give a thanks to Nautical Nathan.
Nautical Nathan, you guys have a great night.
Yeah, you guys have a great night. Feel free to go check out his channel. I will leave it down below. And as always, y'all stay classy, and we will see you in the next one.